What's up everyone, it's Gabby Trades here and welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about, is the Friday rally a trap? It could be really a market rally trap that we're getting into, but this week we also have an important event coming up and actually also pretty important news that could be very crucial. So stay with me so we can find that out. But before we jump in, you guys, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe if you're new here, more than welcome, and make sure to click that small little bell on the side of the screen so you never miss when I'm live here with you. Hopefully everything is good around here. Let's see who's in the chat. We have Mr. Incredible. I said good morning to everyone. Since we're all here, I say we just start. You guys, please confirm in the chat if everything's okay. It seems that it's fine. All right, cool. So what happened on Friday? We're gonna start in immediately with that. So what happened on Friday? We had big gains on Friday. Anyone that was trying to short the market on Friday got extremely burned. Now, we got absolutely massive gains on Ethereum and also the TradFi. Specifically, I want to point your attention to the Dow Jones that surged over 800 points, which was exactly a 1.9 percentage gain over here. Let's look at the news. Let me see if you can see that as well. I'm moving the screens around over here. You guys, make sure you restart the chart. So basically, yes, Dow Jones, which is the transportation index, rose more than 800 points. That's the first record of this year, right? That's the first record close of the entire year, Dow Jones. Now, one thing that you need to understand about Dow Jones in comparison to the other indexes is that is only comprised of 30 companies. So that essentially means that the Dow Jones could be very easily manipulated, right? Very easily. The other thing that I want to point out is that the market overall got up. Essentially, S&P 500 rose 1.5%. We had the NASDAQ also 1.9%. And this was all due to Powell's speech at Jackson Hole. Now, he was very nice to bend the knee to Trump, and also he hinted that September rate cuts might be on the table. So that essentially eased the fears and fueled optimism across the board, right? And then we had the VIX, which of course measures the market fear, plunging, indicating complacency amongst investors. Right, so traders essentially increased their bets and everything went risk on. So essentially now the chances of a rate cut are extremely high yet again. They dropped below 70, below 80% at 75, and now we're sitting at 87.3. Again, chance of 25 basis points here cut for September. Now, the interesting part is over here that we have some analysts, right, that are warning that this might be a short-lived bounce and that is actually not sustainable at the moment, right? It's more of a late summer rally is what they call it, and that it's going to fade until volatility kicks back in September coming to October. And this particular article over here is from this guy Chris Watling, who is a long view economics analyst, and he's highlighting few red flags over here that are suggesting that this could actually be a trap, even though markets are looking strong on the surface. So he's pointing out at things such as declining volumes despite the rising prices. Of course, we discussed together, we have the elevated valuations, which means basically over 20% of the stocks are trading more than 10x of their actual enterprise sales and value in a way. So a surge in that could be speculative excess, right, on the margin debt as well. So yeah, there is a lot of sector divergence as well. So gains are narrowing, they're not broad-based. We have deteriorating liquidity, partly due to the Fed reverse repo balances. Now, how is this a bull trap and what do we need to watch out for? Well, what is first of all a bull trap, you guys? If you don't know, let me tell you. Like, a bull trap is when the market is showing signs that it's turning bullish and investors are buying in, and then price tends to reverse and continue falling down. This is the one thing I need you to be careful of. And then these patterns occur exactly in momentums like this, where we have a strong rally, but then the rally is not supported by a lot of volume. And then immediately after that, we have fading momentum and the breadth of the books is thinning, which is essentially what we're seeing today with the drop. Right. So first of all, what we need to be looking out for this week, there is few important things that are coming. Most importantly, we have on Friday the PCE that is going to come, which is the core PCE index over here. And you guys know very well, we've discussed that many times. This is the preferred inflation gauge for the Fed. So this is what we need to be looking out for. Is the inflation going to be sticky? Right? Is it going to be soft or is it going to be sticky? Then we're going to be looking at labor market data as well, right? Which we also have unemployment claims coming in on Thursday. Most importantly, you guys, also this week, why is it so important? Well, we have NVIDIA earnings on Wednesday. And if we get disappointing earnings, in this case, especially in the tech, and also Snowflake is reporting as well. Now, this is the tech sector. If we have bad earnings, that could be very, very bad for the overall market sentiment. Right? And retail enthusiasm is rising, indicators are rising, but we need to be also remembering that historically, right, if you look at the calendar risk, historically September is often the weakest months for the overall market. So this is the important things that we need to be looking out for. Wednesday is going to be extremely important. Why? Because we had a fall in the markets in the weeks before. I don't remember if it was last week. Yes, probably was last week. So we had a drop. That drop was due to news coming in that investors are losing confidence in AI. And we know that when we get NVIDIA earnings, this is going to be very, very important. And over here, if you look at this chart, you can see that analysts are predicting that NVIDIA is going to either drop or gain around 7%. So that could be essentially very, very important for us. All right, you guys, Rafero. Yeah, so I'm very glad that, you guys are saying join Discord. Yes, Discord is very important for you guys to join. And I'll tell you one reason why when we go ahead and look at the charts, because that is where I give my daily updates, especially when price is very volatile. I gave the areas for Ethereum from where to short. So everyone that's on Discord knew when Ethereum was supposed to be shorted over the weekend. And also, what else? I gave the levels for Bitcoin as well to the T. We're going to go ahead and look at that. So that's why I'm telling you guys, it's good for you to join Discord, because you're not going to miss out on these things. And how you can do that? Well, okay, let me go ahead and do it then. Okay. Since I've been advised, that's what I need to do. I need to show you guys over here. What is this super ripped Chinese Asian person? Okay, anyway, so you can come in the description box down here of this video, and then you can get the access to Discord over here. Join Discord. You can see the link over here, and you can get VIP access if you're registered with this link on Bluffin, and then you just need to enter your UID on Discord, and you can get the VIP access. Very, very, very easy stuff for you guys. So we're not going to waste more time on this. We're going to immediately jump on the charts. Here it is, Dow Jones, new all-time highs. You guys, transport index is usually the one that's lagging a little bit, but here we are. We finally reached all-time highs on this index. With the bull run around Friday. Now, the thing is, see, S&P 500 was kind of close to reaching all-time highs, but it didn't. The most interesting thing over here that we're going to look at is NASDAQ. If you guys remember, I gave you the buy for NASDAQ as well from the retrace of this 0.5 of high time frame wick over here, whatever. So that entry was very, very nice. And what's important to note over here is, with the help of my indicators, now I know that the all-time high for NASDAQ over here is liquidity. So that essentially means that even if we get a drop this week with earnings, we're going to be looking to re-enter into a buy position over here. Does that make sense? because Nasdaq is what is still bullish according to our overall bias. What did we say? We want Nasdaq to reach 24,600, 25,200, all of these areas, 25,900. All of these areas are where essentially I'm looking for Nasdaq to exhaust. So this pullback could be a little bit violent as well, but let's see how it goes this week. Of course, we need to wait for Monday to develop. Now let's go ahead with our favorite crypto, because that's what we're here for, right? Okay, so what should we open here? Let's open the 12-hour time frame on Bitcoin. So you guys know very well that I'm waiting for Monday to close, usually the day, so I can determine my bias for the rest of the week, such as the same thing as I did last week, and it's always working out pretty good for us. Okay, so the thing is, last week we called every single move to the T, which was very brilliant. Very glad we did that. And again, over here, this is where I warned Discord, right? I warned Discord. I said we need to be, soon as Bitcoin reached 116,614 K, I said we need to be watching Bitcoin right now, and if it's not from here, it's going to be from 119,287. So that's basically the area that I was expecting for Bitcoin to reject price from, and this is what is happening now. For Bitcoin, it's very important to understand that we've actually been bearish on this asset from this candle over here, right? This candle over here suggested, with rules and the way I trade, that this asset is going to drop to the downside furthermore. Now, how do I find these things, you guys? Honestly, I'm almost finished with the course that I want to teach you. I'm gonna start opening it for you guys in September. Make sure you get on the wait list under the description box over here, my strategy course wait list. Get on that wait list, because that's how you're gonna get prices that no one else is going to get, and they're gonna be accessible, don't worry. But I'm gonna teach you these things over there. Point is, we've been bearish on this since pretty much this candle over here, and now we're assessing what could potentially that mean in terms of a drop. We've discussed that last week. Anywho, let's do it one more time, right? We'll do it one more time over here. So essentially, when we're looking at Bitcoin right now over here, what it means that we had this close, it means that price could potentially come back to the 100, 105, 103, 101K area. So essentially, we're looking into these areas. And also on a 4-hour time frame, if you have our indicators, you will know very well that since Ethereum started pumping here more than Bitcoin, Ethereum started gaining more over here. Bitcoin has left liquidity down here at exactly 107K 164.8. When I make this video, you guys, you need to take notes of the levels, because I don't know if you're paying close attention, but so far we've called every single move to the T. So, you know, I'd rather have you pay attention, make screenshots if you want, whatever, you know, whatever you want to do, however you want to do it. But these are the levels over here that price could be bouncing from. You know, the daily support, that's what DS means on chart. That means daily support. So it's likely for price to get reactions from these areas, etc., etc. Okay. Yay, we have a new subscriber. Hello. So moving on. So that's with Bitcoin, right? We're going to see how Monday is going to develop. Now, essentially, even if Monday develops slow, I'm going to be developing some sort of a bullish bias here for Bitcoin. My ideal price situation, let me just tell you what I'd prefer to see right now. Instead of a immediate drop to the downside today, I'd rather prefer for Bitcoin to start ranging over here, right? I want to see a little bit of a range and then a drop down to clear. But I don't know if we're going to get that, because we never know, right? We just need to trade by the levels. So over here, right, essentially I'm expecting a drop, right? Expecting a drop to clear that liquidity over here, to come into areas of interest for us. And of course, today's close is going to help us determine that a little bit more. In terms of this range over here, actually, we need to be moving that range. We're not sure where the end of the range is, so I'm not going to be extending the range. There is no point. I'm just going to keep it over here because we haven't had a confirmed low yet to develop our overall new frame, right? Our new frame. So we haven't had that development over here yet. Good. Gentine, I think you're right. Hit the like button, you guys. Welcome. I don't know how many people. We have over 40 people here, and let's see how many likes we have. I need to refresh over here to make sure that I know exactly how many likes we have. We have 30 likes. We can get easily 13 more likes over here, you guys, on this video. Let's go ahead and do it. So moving along, we're gonna go with Ethereum over here. Let's get rid of that. We'll draw it again. So first of all, I want to bring your attention to the areas that I gave you I think on Thursday, right? So on Thursday we drew this you know, what is that, an arrow together, and I told you that price needs to hold over here the true month open, which is at 4,258. So that's when I was expecting for price to shoot up essentially. What did I base that on? Well, it's very simple. Like I said, I'm going to teach you all these things, you guys. Make sure you get in the description box and sign up for my strategy course waitlist so you can get the discounts for that. I'm going to teach you there, don't worry. But essentially over here you're learning a lot as well. So let me just say, true month open over here was supposed to be holding, and of course I was coupling that with ETH BTC with the help of my indicators. That is how I got this signal over here. Now, Ethereum reached new all-time highs. All is great, all is amazing due to a Powell pump over here, but now it is retracing. On a daily time frame, it is showing some bearish momentum picking up. But I want to bring your attention to the last time that we had the daily time frame confirming bearish momentum. That didn't really work out, right? That didn't really work out. Instead, we pushed up one more time. So is the daily time frame really reliable right now? Well, it is still going to be a confluence, right? The fact that it didn't work once, it doesn't mean that it's not gonna work the second time. Confluence is always a confluence, but you need to couple it up with other things to give the overall picture. Does that make sense? So over here, yes, we have that doji candle right here, and then we have an immediate sell. So that is usually on the bearish side a little bit. So if that continues to happen, I've already assessed how far this move can go. And to be fair, you guys, we're looking at price actually retracing this entire move over here, right? And potentially coming back to retest again the true month open over here. This is an actuality that could happen one more time in this week. So I just wanted to point your attention to that. It is very possible, because if we pull out over here and we try to assess our levels, we can see a little bit, right? We can see where is our 2 points over here, right? So what might happen is that we might come down and retest that breaker block over here. Very possible. So that would erase all the gains that we've achieved up so far, right, from Friday. So we need to be careful and watching out for these things, but that, in my opinion, is going to be a good buy opportunity if it happens. Now, how did I know that price is going to sell off from over here? Again, the signal was given on Discord. You guys make sure you watch the VIP signals that I give over there. So I told everyone, right? I told everyone, and you guys know, if you've been live here with me, you should be also good on that end. We were expecting for price to bounce into the buy zone for ETH BTC and then to shoot up. Where? Shoot up where? Shoot up exactly to our liquidations levels on ETH BTC over here. On a daily time frame, that is quite a high time frame to look for liquidity levels. So once you have these liquidity levels on a daily time frame, you want to be watching for price to react from it. So as you can see, price wicked into it and started selling off. So that's essentially what we were looking for, that exact signal over here. Now, the good news is that we do have more liquidity to the upside over here on ETH BTC, right? So we do have more. We do have more. There is nothing to go crazy for right now, and that is just another confirmation that the dips are going to be for buying over here. Does that make sense? According to the technical analysis, of course, right? Solana not pretty much giving too much at the moment. Yes, we broke out from the range, but again, there is no confirmation that this is a true range over here that we can extend our range model theory to. So for now, we're just looking into that. Solana is giving no confirmations for a short, no confirmations for a long whatsoever. The only thing we're seeing on Solana, which is important, is this sell zone from over here, right? This sell zone from over here. Did we have a body close above it? No, we didn't. So that is essentially also bearish over here. Does that make sense, right? All of these rejections, we don't have a body close above our sell zone to create it now as a buy breaker zone. That's not currently where we stand. In fact, we are rejecting that zone, so that could mean, again, same thing. We could be going back, retesting maybe the 0.5 of the old range over here, retesting the true month open, or even worse, come down into the buy zone over here at 172 or 171, right? This is also a possibility. So we're looking at these two possibilities over here. And from where price is right now, let's have a look. We're looking at 7% in, you know, potentially, right? Potentially. It's all going to depend how today closes overall. Does that make sense, you guys? Someone's broken hip. Who is that? Oh, no. Oh, sorry to hear, you guys. This is it. Like, we're a very good community. We're so close knitted. We know what's happening in most of our people private lives and everything, which is so beautiful. I hope you get better. Damn, that's really bad. But Solana essentially, right? Solana is a good asset over here because it's giving liquidity on a higher time frame, the 12-hour time frame. So essentially, this is what we're looking for. Right, we're looking for this liquidity to be taken at 295. So if we get any dips here, it's going to be good. It's going to be good to get repositioned over here. And if you're not short over here, that is, you know, that is fine. I'm sorry if you're not. You could have easily caught that if you were on Discord, but here we are. So yeah, that's what we're looking at. What else? Can we look at GRT? Yeah, absolutely, mate. Let's look at GRT together. Down 3.8% on the day. GRT is essentially one that's looking fine, right? One that's looking fine. We have lots of liquidity over here. Daily time frame 0.35 almost over here. So that's one area that we're looking at for GRT potentially. Trading below, we've discussed GRT, right? We've discussed GRT trading below the major level. We're not breaking that level over here, so there is lots of time, right? Because I said to you guys, and I'm going to repeat it again, 0.09745. If you want to front run, you can try and front run from the buy zone over here, right? Or from the buy zone below over here, you can try and front run. But if you want to be safe, you're looking for 0.09745 to you know, to get broken, and then essentially you have some more daily levels over here that are important to break. But there is so much upside to this. I wouldn't there is going to be opportunities, right? There's going to be opportunities to re-enter into this, but now you want a little bit more of a drop down here, a little bit more of a drop. Now let's move to XRP. So XRP, yeah, we were talking about XRP, and of course, the one thing that we said is that in a bull market like this, when you're developing a range, right, and the range is getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, price is eventually going to explode, hopefully to the upside. So ideally, the best thing you can do is always like position yourself at the lower side of the range. And as you can see, this is our daily support over here. I'm going to move it so you guys can see what the indicators are giving us. As you can see, this is the daily support, right? So I mark it a little bit more thick so I can see it. And then I add usually DS just for you guys. I know exactly what these levels are, but for you, I do it so it's a little bit easier to identify. But that's pretty much the support here on XRP sitting at 2.833. That doesn't mean that this area can't be wicked. It can be wicked big time. So essentially, again, you're sitting here at a buy setup and a sell setup together. So yeah, there could be a further drop in that. Let's have a look. Potentiality, that's 4% back to the daily support, and then to the other level over here we have 2.58, so that will be 12%. So let's see if that happens, but quite possible, because if you remember what happened last week when we had investors losing confidence in Nvidia, that's when we had the overall market sell-off, complete sell-off everywhere across the board. So this week is going to be essential for us to follow. Bitcoin dominance is looking fine, right? The liquidity is over here at 54%. So essentially, I'm expecting for this to continue in some fashion, right, to the downside over here. Now, looking at this imbalance, it could be that price comes back and fills that imbalance. I would not be surprised if that happens, but then we'll be looking for another further drop down as a rotation point over here. That would make sense. And then in the worst case scenario, coming back to 60% in the sell zone to send that lower again. So ETH BTC, dominance, I'm not really worried about that so much at the moment, because we have two liquidity down here, 50.8 and 54 over here, that we need to be looking out for, you guys. So I think that's it for today. These are the most important things. There is no reason for us to ramble a lot over here, but the point is that we need to wait for Monday to develop and to see how this whole thing is going to play out. But like I said, for me, ideally, I want to see a range developing over here. I want to see manipulation to the downside, from which I could potentially look for buys. So that's what we're looking at. Okay, so ARB and APT, cool. Let's have a look at ARB first. We're gonna look at ARB first. So yeah, ARB is looking fine. Like we said, this is the range over here that we're currently trading. It's good that we have this liquidity over here at 1.23. We kind of predicted that price is gonna start coming up from this area over here. So I can see that that's playing out quite nicely at the moment for whoever asked for us to analyze before that. So this was essentially our idea. We wanted for price to come down to this fair value gap over here and then find support to which should break. So over here, looking at ARB on a daily time frame, if we open the rest of our indicators, we have quite a bit of buy zones left and daily supports as well. It's good that they're combined with some sort of a fair value gap as well. So I'll be looking at this level over here. I'll be looking at this level over here for ARB. Lots of buy zones. The first one is over here. So essentially you're looking at, this is going to be our first, where is this little thing? over here, our first buy zone. Then we have one more down here, which already was mitigated one time, to be fair. But looking at how price is developing right now, it seems like it is more likely than not that price is going to get at least some sort of reaction from this level. At the very minimum, some sort of reaction. And if not, we're potentially looking to retest the daily supports down here on ARB. Good morning. Dropping the course. Yeah, I'm trying to do it, you guys. Yeah. I'm trying to do it as fast as I can for all of you. It's just going to be one of many I'm going to release, but I need you to get some base to start somewhere, right? I need you to get some base. So that was our plan for APT. Basically, this move price to come down, retest the main area, and come up to this support over here. So that's also played out very, very nicely. I can see over here. So we tapped into the resistance, and then price is rejecting, essentially creating a range over here for APT. Now, so the things that you're looking out for in terms of APT, since you've rejected again from 4.832, which was kind of expected, you're looking essentially for price to drop again into the buy zone at the very least, or retest 4.3 one more time. And if things get really, really nasty, it's potentially going to go to a very uncomfortable zone down here, which I don't hope or wish that it happens, but it's always a possibility, right? It's always a possibility over here. But as you can see, 10-12%, which is the max that we were seeing for alts down here according to our analysis. So it seems like it should be holding the buy zone over here at around, which starts at 4.2, sorry, ends at 4.2 and starts at 3.7. So anywhere down here is good. Yes, you guys, get on Discord. Like I said, the link is in the description box of how you can join Discord. Make sure you get your VIP as well. Like I said, with this link, you just need to register and trade on Bluff, and you can get your VIP. And please like the video if you haven't, because yeah, it's very helpful for me, and I'm trying to give you these information over here so you guys can make use of them, right? Whereas I can just be sitting and just trading and not giving two F's over here. So I hope that really helps you guys. I've been giving you a lot of quality price action. All the levels that I've given have played out so far. Tell me if I was wrong. Just go ahead and tell me. But anyway, it's not about who's wrong, who's right. I don't care about that. Important is you guys learn how to see these things on your own, because then you won't be right 100% of the time. Let's be clear on that. You will never be right 100%, but you will be right more than not. And that's what counts over here, right? So with the way we trade, we're right more than 50%, more than 60%, more than 70% of the time. So you will have an extreme edge over here if you stick to the ways that I'm trying to teach you, right? And while you're waiting, go ahead and get the indicators. Honestly, you guys, they're super cheap. I'm not making any crazy money. Honestly, it's super stupidly cheap. Go and get them. I'm trying to give them to you so you can utilize them and get these areas on your own. And essentially anyone who's got them is very happy. Just trying to give you the best value that I can over here. Yes, 50 likes. Good job, you guys. Thank you so much. Well, I don't think we have anything else to discuss for today. Again, I'm repeating, it is important to remember that we have NVIDIA earnings on Wednesday. Remember, AI, as soon as we had an article about AI last week, the whole market sold off. Very important to watch for Snowflake and AI earnings. PCE on Friday. I'm going to be with you guys the whole week. Make sure you come. We're live Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at the same times. So make sure you're here. And if you're not, make sure to watch the video after so you can get you know, all the important information, because you can watch all the crypto YouTubes or whatever, but nobody's going to give you the actual TradFi analysis and what's happening behind the scenes with the biggest investors, because you know it's not only about crypto. This market is based on a lot of other fundamentals, right, and a lot of other investments. And yeah, so you guys need to learn about these things. So that's why I want you to be here and get that value. All right, anyway, thank you so much for being here once again, and I'll see you on Discord, and if not, I'll see you tomorrow in the live again.